Hi, this is Brad from Pro Wrestling Junkies, and welcome to another episode of Getting to Know a Junkie. Today's junkie is from Philadelphia. That's in Pennsylvania for any of our geographically challenged viewers. His name is Sean Gormley. He goes by Gorm. Sean, how are you?
Hey, Brad. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
So how long have you been going by Gorm? Since you were a little boy?
My dad had that nickname growing up, so I just adopted it like when I was in like fifth or sixth grade. Because sometimes people couldn't pronounce my name right; they would call me like Scene, or because
Oh,
like
really?
I spell it the Irish way. So
Uh-huh.
I just like Gorm better. Like that just sticks.
Yeah, and that's an easy one to remember too.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of Seans.
Right.
So do you live, is your mailing address Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or do you live in like another town or city?
No, I grew up my whole life here in Philadelphia. Yeah.
So I assume like Eagles fan, Phillies fan type thing?
Eagles, not so much, but yeah, Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, but most of all of the wrestling.
Okay,
Big
yeah,
fan of
yeah.
the sports as the wrestling.
So how far do you live from the Liberty Bell?
So I'm in the northeast part of Philly, so I'm about maybe 10 miles, which is like a half-hour drive
Oh,
from the
okay.
city, yeah, from Center City, and then to like where the sports complex are,
Hmm.
probably, and then another like 10, 15, so altogether 45.
So where
Yeah.
you live is not like the hustling, bustling sit part of the city.
Right. It's more so like going towards outside the city and toward
Hmm.
into the suburbs, but it's still considered Philadelphia. So yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on a Saturday. I
Right.
appreciate that, and the time issue. I
Yeah.
apologize. So what do you do for fun? In Philadelphia.
I mean nothing really during the pandemic,
Yeah,
but
in
yeah,
a typical
typical. Yeah, I would
2019 say.
2019. Um, Work in Center City.
Hmm.
Go out to some of the bars and whatnot.
Hmm.
The sporting events. Um, I
Do you,
mean, I've seen it all in Philly. I mean, I just like to just travel and go outside of where I live.
how
Um,
far from Amish country do you live?
Amish countries.
Like,
Probably about an hour, I would say. It depends. That's like going out towards like central PA.
is that like middle of nowhere?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's like
okay.
middle of nowhere. About like 45 to an hour. Yeah, if you take the PA Turnpike, you can get there fairly quick enough. But I don't know. I don't think I've ever been out there.
So
Maybe
where
once.
where are you living right now? Do you have roommates
I'm still
living with
living
other
at
people?
home with
Oh,
parents.
nice. So
Yeah.
you're saving. They're not making you pay rent, are they?
I mean, I contribute. I mean, I help out. So,
Was it a
yeah.
requirement to continue staying there that you
Mm,
that you help out, or you're just being proactive and nice, a good?
I guess just proactive and nice. I'm the youngest of three, so majority of my siblings moved out when they were like 26, 27. I mean, I
Yeah,
would like
normal.
to. I think 2020 was the year that I wanted to, move out to an apartment and just like search for like roomies and whatnot. But it's just been hard because I've been working from home. So, like, I'm in my room right now, but this
Yeah.
is also like my office. So,
Oh
I've
my
been here
God.
since the middle of March. So, it's kind of like,
And
hopefully,
typically with your job, you were going into an office, Monday through Friday type thing
yeah, taking a
before
train.
COVID.
Yeah. So before COVID, I've been working in the city since 2018. I've been getting around. So yeah, I mean, working from home, I like it, but we'll see what happens the next couple of months with
Do
how
you think
everything.
that once we get through this, that you'll be able to work from home sometimes?
Well, I'm a healthcare worker, but the way that they define me as healthcare is that I work for a hospice care company, but it's
Okay.
more so like a desk job where I just enter like patient health info, and it's not so much where I'm around patients, but I'm
Hmm.
around 200 other employees because we
Sure.
occupy like two floors in the office building. So it's just they're kind of like staying away from how people are like bunched around each other. So
Hmm.
they're pushing for people to to get the vaccine, and they're like hoping by June we can slowly transition back into the office, because I know they don't want to risk it, and then
Mm-hmm.
something happens where they have to send all 200 employees back working
Sure.
from home. So yeah, I mean it's challenging, but I like it, but it's gonna be tough getting back into the swing of things, waking up
Yeah.
early in the morning and whatnot.
Yeah, right now the mornings are so relaxing.
Yeah,
Not like racing to get out of the house or anything or
right,
get anyone ready.
right.
Um, okay, so let's travel back in time to Little Gorm. When did you get exposed to wrestling for the first time?
Okay. From what I recall, it was definitely before the 2000. So I was born February of 96.
Okay.
So I was probably like three and a half, going on to four.
Okay.
And I like remember little bits and tabs of things, but I know my dad and my uncle were big fans in the 80s and 90s, because my
Uh-huh.
dad stopped watching probably when I was like 7 or 8, so he was
Okay.
probably like in his mid 40s. But I have an older brother that watched it, but
Hmm.
he stopped when it transitioned to the WWE. So he was like big WWF. So
Yeah.
when 2002 came, it kind of wasn't like cool anymore for a 12-year-old, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I stuck with it. Definitely like when like Stone Cold and The Rock and all those guys were making it big, like with the McMahons and whatnot. And then I just kind of just stuck with it. I just always watched it on Mondays, and then it used to be on Thursdays, and then
Hmm.
Tuesdays, and then Fridays. But yeah, with the wrestling, I gotten introduced basically WWF. So it wasn't like WCW or anything. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
the WWF. Yeah.
So did your dad or uncle or both or your brother take you to shows ever?
My dad did when I was 10.
Okay.
We went to the Raw and SmackDown taping July 3rd for it was in 2006. It was the night that Edge won the triple threat against Cena and RVD.
Oh, that's right.
That
Yes.
was my first live event.
Were you like really excited?
Yeah, because I don't think I forget, like it was just random. Like my dad just got tickets and we went. And back then they had like the commercial breaks where they had like the kiss cam and they would shoot t-shirts out of the can, and I'm just like this is cool. But I think after my first event I haven't went to another one probably like until 2008. I think I
Okay.
went to the Raw after Cena came back and won the Rumble, and
Mm-hmm.
then from there it like slowly picked up.
Okay.
And then like when I turned like 19 and had like my first solid job, I
Mm-hmm.
started traveling outside of Philly and just started going to other shows.
Where's the furthest? Where's the furthest you've traveled away from Philly to see a show?
So 2018 and 2019 was like a big year for me for traveling, but I would
Mm-hmm.
say um it would have to probably be New Orleans for Mania 34.
Did you go with anyone?
No, I went by myself, which I loved
Mm-hmm.
because
I went to a
I
Mania by myself too. It was great. Go on.
Mania 34 was great. I did the only Manias I've done were 29, which was at MetLife Stadium, and then I did 33 in Orlando. That was with about three other guys, and
Okay.
then 34 I did it by myself. But then that's when I started to like meet a lot of people from the Facebook groups, which I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely enjoyed, because like there was like days where I would meet up with people, and a lot of people that I've met from Pro Wrestling Junkies actually like met for the first time in New Orleans. So New
Oh,
Orleans always has like a special place for me, because that was probably like the best wrestlecation that I had.
and
Um,
so for this for New Orleans, for example, you go down there a couple of days before, or do you
right.
get there like day of or night before?
I usually for Mania weeks I get there the Thursday of. So like the
Oh, okay.
Thursday, yeah. So I'll do like a Thursday to a Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
because back then they stopped doing the SmackDown Tuesday night was
Mhm.
the last show, so yeah, I would leave Wednesday. Um,
And is there like a fan fest,
yeah, there's Access,
like meet and
there's
greets and stuff?
WrestleCon. Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff.
Is it a lot of standing in lines waiting?
It depends on who you meet. So, I met Stone Cold
Oh
that
wow.
year, so his line was about a 2 hour wait, but it was worth it.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
yeah, you're in line with a lot of other people from all over the world. So that's what I really enjoy about traveling for everything, and I miss it so much because um, the last WWE event was Elimination Chamber, and I think that was like the last WWE event before like lockdown happened. So
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, it's been a messed up year. It's thrown me off. Like I feel like it's like an empty year. Like I
right,
feel like it was 2019, like I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago.
right.
Okay, this might be asking too much, so you don't have to answer it. New Orleans WrestleMania weekend. How much money do you think this cost you?
Um, so I did the travel package for Mania 34. I did the travel package. Um,
And what does that include?
that included. It depends on what you. There were different tiers, so like you could get the package where like it included the Hall of Fame and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that I got, I know was for Wait, no, I didn't do the package because I didn't go to NXT. I did Mania, Raw, and SmackDown, so I like kind of like saved money on it. I
Mm-hmm.
think the other I did packages outside of Mania. So like when I did Survivor Series and like SummerSlam of 2019. So that's like when I did the packages. But in
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans I didn't. So it just all depending because I think a majority of the events were the indie shows because I got into the indies like in early 2017. Like I
Okay.
said, I started WWE in like 2000, and that's kind of like all I knew up until like 2016, 2017.
Okay.
um I just started to get into the indies like deathmatch wrestling. There's a lot of shows that they do in Jersey for
What
different
are some of the indie companies you've seen?
so a lot of the indie promotions that I've seen were GCW, which is Game Changer
Yeah,
Wrestling,
they're awesome.
CCW. That I kind of was only into that for about a year, and then when a lot of them talents started to go get signed by like NXT and I think AEW, I kind of stopped because it kind of was like it was like losing its flavor, like losing its touch a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So I kind of stopped there. Evolve was the big one for Mania
Mm-hmm.
Week. Evolve, um, W World Wrestling. I think it was WWN World Wrestling. It was like one of those, and then there was WXW. They were from I think Germany. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
just like the different promotions that I just like went and saw for the first time. Like I did ROH,
Mm-hmm.
because the ROH I got into around the time that like the Bullet Club was
Okay.
slowly um like going out the door.
Mm-hmm.
But right now all I keep touch with is like NXT, AEW, WWE.
Yeah,
So it's kind of
the
like
main
going
ones.
back. Yeah, it's kind of going back to like what I've always known, but I'm like kind of weird. Like I'll watch it on TV, but like I'll go to the events, and like if I go to the event, I won't watch it again on TV. So
Oh,
like
really?
yeah, it's weird. So like Mania 33, 34, 35, I haven't gotten the chance to sit down and watch the whole like duration of.
What's the reasoning?
I have no idea. And I'm a person that enjoys it in the moment. So I
Mm-hmm.
never really go back and just watch it again because I already know like what happens. Like I live in the moment. I kind of just go through videos that I take during the event, like
Mm-hmm.
Snapchats and whatnot. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
I just like I'm not like the typical like guy that can just sit down and watch something that I've already seen once. Like I can't go back and watch it again, which is weird.
All
Unless
right, it's
if
a
it's
valid
something, yeah,
answer.
yeah. So if
That's
it
fine.
catches my eye, I can like
Will you watch matches more than once? Like go back and watch a show that you haven't been to?
yeah, if it's like the anniversary of an event, or if
Mm-hmm.
it's like something meaningful, like I see online, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go watch and just watch that match because
Mm-hmm.
that match, you can watch hundreds of times. But just to watch the event, like there was a time back when, before I did Mania 33, I took like 2 weeks and
Mm-hmm.
I started watching like WrestleManias from the very beginning. And I
Okay.
think I got through like WrestleMania 1 through 20
Oh wow.
and then I stopped. But then, like I said, I watched like 23, 24, 25, so on and so forth, and I like recorded on VHS, and then you can
Yeah,
like watch it again,
yeah.
So like that's kind of like stuff where if it was like I would watch it again if I wasn't there live, because there would be sometimes if I got distracted or if I missed something.
Mm-hmm.
But at live events, I try not to like look at my phone. I just try to like stay in the moment and whatnot. So yeah,
That's awesome. I mean, it's
yeah,
a good way to enjoy the show while you're there.
yeah.
Um, I forgot to ask this. Where's the closest venue like that you would see WWE or AEW, in a normal year?
Okay, so for WWE, it's the Wells Fargo Center,
Okay.
and then
Do the Sixers play there?
yeah, the Sixers and the Flyers play there,
Okay.
and then where AEW was back in October of 2019, it was the Leocora Center,
Okay.
which is in North Philly. It's where the Temple University campus is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the college campus. So
And
yeah,
both are like nice like facilities.
I really enjoyed AEW at the Leocora Center because they packed that place. I think they
Uh-huh.
can fit like 4,000 people, but like Wells Fargo, I think you can get up to like
Oh.
17,000. So it was a nice venue for AEW to
Mm-hmm.
sell out because it was like the third episode in when they
Oh,
started.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, as long as they sell out, 17,000 is plenty.
yeah,
You can't tell from as a fan watching on TV.
right.
Um, are you attached to, do you have like a boyfriend, girlfriend, anything like that?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. Because this is where I'm going is, would that be important that they were wrestling fans?
It would be a plus
A plus.
because
Not
it's
a,
like
not a
you have.
deal breaker?
It could be a deal breaker, but you never know with how people are with personalities and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
They could like wrestling, but then they could like other things too. They could be into drugs. You never know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just like you
that's true.
never know. Like with people, it's just hard. Um, but whenever you click somebody with wrestling, that's like a bond that really, it's like lifelong. If you say you're a wrestling fan, say that you're a wrestling fan. Don't just be like, oh, I watched it when I was 10. Like
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that you watch it now.
You're a
So
fan. I
that
watched baseball when I was 10. Well, you're a
right.
baseball fan.
Right, you're a baseball fan. Like you stick with it.
Yeah. Like, did you get okay? So you said your brother got out of it, and your dad and your uncle got out of wrestling.
Right.
Did they give you any like ridicule you at all? They've done it, not your parents, but
No.
that's happened to me before on my end.
Never, no.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I think my dad had the bond that he had with his brother is the
Mm-hmm.
kind of bond that I had with my brother. Even like when he was 17, 18, 19, and
Mm-hmm.
I was not seven, maybe when he was like 20, 21, 22, because I'll be 25. And when he
Mm-hmm.
was like 16, 17, I would ask them to like take me to events. So like my dad didn't like have to,
Yeah.
but my brother like knew what was going on. Like he wasn't watching it like full on like
Yeah.
I was, but like he would drive and like take me to events. And I think like the furthest um he's taken me to, like, I would say like North Jersey. So it was kind of like he knows how much I love it, and he, even though like we're um I don't think he keeps up with it though, but
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask him. But when we would watch it together, it was kind of like we would have my cousins over, we would have my dad, my uncles, like we would have a lot of people over for like Sunday night pay-per-views and whatnot.
Oh, are those like happy memories?
Definitely, yeah.
Oh man, you're lucky. I always tell people this. Like like I like hearing like people's like memories and stuff because it's
Right,
like God, you're so lucky you have that. That's great. You'll have that your whole life.
right.
Okay. Hobbies. Does Gorm have any hobbies? Collect anything? Like a certain kind of music? Collect
Um,
shirts? I like your shirt that you're wearing.
oh, thank you. Yes, it's the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm not an action figure collector, and that's something that I like always wanted to get into, but I just never had like the taste or like motivation to just collect like action
Where to
figures.
start? Hmm.
Um, but I do have specific like things that I do collect
Okay.
from the wrestling world. Um, Hobbies, not like really anything interesting, but I did um try like backyard wrestling like 4 years ago,
Okay. What was
and
that like?
it was fun. I've actually had a couple friends who actually like trained,
Okay.
and they're actually like training now in the indies and some like
So do you know how to take a bump?
yeah, I had to like learn it the hard way, but it took a while. Um,
Have
but
you
yeah,
body slammed someone?
physically, I don't think I could pick up anybody, but I could
Okay.
do like do like a jumping tornado DDT. Um,
Did you ever hurt anyone or someone hurt you?
well, I fell on my neck during my entrance, which was really funny but scary at the same time.
Yeah.
I was trying to flip like backwards off of the top rope.
Okay.
Kind of like if you ever seen like Beth Phoenix, she's like one of the biggest um like female wrestlers that I like. But I
Sure.
tried they were like, "Oh, try it." So the second time I tried it, I slipped and I literally was like, "Oh god." And I knew like I was falling and I just was like tuck and roll, like tuck the chin. So that was probably like the only time I hurt myself, but other than that, like no one has like hurt anybody. But
Okay.
I've
When
only
was the last?
done it was fun. I actually like I have like gear and stuff. And
Oh, that's it. We
if you
showed
want to
me.
see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see
Yes.
that? Yeah. So
Yes.
there's like my ring jacket that I had custom made. So I didn't get this part. Like I just had this
Okay.
as a ring jacket. So
Okay.
that was like when I was like a baby face, which was
Did
fun.
did did you know somebody who made those?
So no. So I bought this so I bought the jacket at like a costume store in South
Mm-hmm.
Philly. And
Mm-hmm.
then I Googled somebody who did embroidering. And I got this done this time last year because on the Jericho cruise, they
Uh-huh.
had like dress up as a wrestler. And then like there's my singlet. I had like a headband.
Oh my God.
I had the singlet going. I paid I forget where I think I got this at one of the wrestling websites. I think it was like El Lucha or something. I have the kick pads.
Did, what's your ring name?
I know. I went by Gorm. Literally, I
Oh,
just went.
okay.
Literally Gorm, and then yeah, I just went by that. But the way that I got into it is because there's a friend of mine who used to like. He's 32 now.
Okay.
He used to train probably 10 years ago when he just turned like 21, 22. He used to do shows that like Adam Cole
Hmm.
were on because Adam Cole I think wrestled in Lancaster, PA.
Okay.
And then like so he gained a lot of knowledge with like training and then he kind of stopped, and I know like a lot of him and his friends picked up probably in like 2007 2008, and they like did backyard. But literally like if you go on YouTube and like look up, if you type in Gorm and then XBW for extreme backer, like XBW is extreme backer wrestling, but just put in
Mm-hmm.
XBW. We bought like a ring, like we had an actual ring that we were wrestling out of. It was just we were just wrestling in somebody's backyard.
Uh-huh.
But it only stuck for about like 6 months because then some people like didn't want to do it anymore. They wanted like control of the company, so it was like
Uh-huh.
kind of like you got a little bit of like wrestling politics, and
Like it
so
wasn't fun anymore.
it wasn't fun anymore. It was kind of like people wanted to go over, and it was like they gave me a little bit of booking, and I
Okay.
kind of like I liked it because I had the freedom to like book my character like with what
Yeah.
I did right there. But then there was like three of them that were like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. We're gonna actually try to go pro, and
Yeah.
I was like glad that they did because I feel like majority of us there was about maybe like 20, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, that was probably like the only hobby I had. But
I
then,
mean, that's quite a hobby.
yeah, it was tough because you
Did
gotta.
you ever think about going further with it?
At the time, I wanted to,
Hmm.
but it was just like I was working full-time jobs. Like these guys that I know,
Hmm.
I don't know what they do now, but um, like you have to have like security and
Hmm.
knowing that like this is the thing, this will pay your bills and whatnot.
Your insurance and.
Your
Hmm.
insurance policy for that. But I don't live too far from the Shakar factory in
Okay.
Philadelphia, so
Uh-huh.
that's about 10 minutes away from me. I always thought of getting into it, but with just work and whatnot, it was just like I'm still young.
Yeah, yeah.
If that does ever come up, maybe I'll give it a try.
Hmm.
Because like I said, majority of the people that I know now, they're in their 30s, and I'm like mid 20s, so
Yeah, yeah. So you
it's
have some
just
time.
yeah. So doing that, it was just stuff to just mess around. 21-year-old just having fun.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
yeah.
That
So
that,
then
that sounds
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. But I still like during the Jericho cruise, I dressed up in that, and people loved it. I'm just like, yeah, I haven't like worn this in like 2 years.
Okay, hon, Sean. I mean, Gorm.
Yeah.
Can we do? I have because now I'm just finding out. You said it a couple minutes ago about the Jericho cruise. I have like 100 questions about what goes on. Can we? Will you come back on and us do an episode of you just telling me about the Jericho cruise?
Yeah, absolutely. I would
Because I have
love
so
to.
many questions. I've wanted to go. So yeah, I mean, like, could you take me through like a day by day of it, like if you had
Yeah,
to?
yeah. It's probably like oh god. The next one is in October.
Uh huh.
So I'm very happy because like a lot of people from this group, Pro Wrestling Junkies, a lot
Totally.
of them were not going on the February
Uh huh.
because of COVID. So back in April they pushed it back to October of this
Hmm.
year. So a lot of them are starting to go now, and I'm like more excited because a lot of them didn't go on the one last January.
Yeah, yeah.
It went by quick, but I only did the one last year. I didn't do the one in 2018.
Okay.
So I can talk a lot about that whenever you
Okay,
want me
good. I want to
to.
have you on like soon, like in the next few days, because
Yeah.
I have a bunch of questions. Oh, cool. It'll be a themed episode. Perfect.
Cool. Yeah.
And we'll talk about this afterwards. Favorite wrestler of all time, favorite wrestler now.
Favorite wrestler of all time.
And you could say a couple if it makes it easier. It's hard to.
There's a couple guys that really broke the glass ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like when people say like I'm not saying this as a name, but like when they always think of John Cena, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to like think of the people who like scratched and clawed their way up in a way, but you have to like really appreciate that what they've done for the company to um get those moments and get those memories. So for me, definitely like WWF, it had to be Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was like 13, 14, 15, it probably had to be CM Punk.
Yeah, me
Like
too.
it
For a little
comes and
while.
goes. It just like with the wrestlers, um like even for the females, so like watching, in 2000 you had like Trish, Lita, Victoria, Molly, you had them people, and I had like one or two favorite, but like I have like two specific that I always tell people like these are my two all-time favorite female wrestlers,
Okay.
and the one's Beth Phoenix, and then the other one is Mickey James.
Oh, okay. Those
So
are
yeah,
pretty good choices.
yeah, but now it's hard to pick one. But if I had to pick one, somebody that's been like growing on me recently is Shotzi Blackheart in
Yeah, yeah, I like
NXT.
her.
I like her, and then Sasha Banks, and but it's just so hard to choose because there's so many really good wrestlers, and like I
Yeah, and you
said,
like them for different reasons.
different reasons, and there's always like I may be missing something with like Impact. Like there may
Mm-hmm.
be like I've seen wrestlers who are on Impact now, like when they were on the Indies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like with different brands and different companies, definitely, Kenny Omega is up there. He's
Mm-hmm.
definitely one. Um, Cody is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Adam Cole. It's just how they're being booked now. Like how, some storylines in WWE. I feel like it's just really like I don't know where some of these things are going in a
Totally.
way, but yeah. So if I had to pick like a top like three, it would definitely be like Stone Cold, CM Punk, and Omega. But
Those are
yeah,
fine 1, 2, 3s.
yeah.
All right, what was the best show you've been to? If it wasn't one, was it one of the manias you went to?
Ooh, I've been to like I said, 2017 was like the start of like going to like with WWE shows. It was probably like 20 a year, but then you had all the indie shows mixed in.
Yeah.
But one that really had to stand out, and I really never thought of this either. So it's like you're getting me right on the spot.
Okay.
I'm
No,
trying
it's
to
the
think.
best.
Um, something I don't know if this is like one that a lot of people would agree on.
Okay. No,
Pro-
it's just your choice.
I know I'm just thinking because I'm trying to go back and just I want to say the most one that I was looking forward to was probably the Rumble where they started the women. So 3 years ago, the
Oh
2018.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was a good one. That was an
yeah, yeah.
okay. That was an okay. That was a good show.
What about your favorite non like WWE show?
My favorite non WWE show probably would be the. I want to say it's hard because I went to All Out during the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic this year,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the first All Out was like it was big, and I met like a lot of fans.
Was that in Chicago?
Yeah, that was in Chicago.
Did you go to the Pro Wrestling Tees meet and greets?
No, but I went to the Pro Wrestling Tee store.
Oh, okay. Then I probably saw you. I was there all weekend.
Oh, okay.
Um, okay. Can I ask you to submit to a Would You Rather game?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to note though that normally I run them by my wife because sometimes I have trouble determining what's inappropriate or not. So I didn't get to do that today with
Oh,
these
that's
three.
fine.
So
Yeah.
bear with me. All right.
Okay.
Would you rather have children or never be able to watch wrestling again?
Wait, so if I have children, I can't watch wrestling
Mm-hmm.
again?
You can either have children or wrestling.
Oh, so I would stick with watching wrestling.
Smart, smart. There was only one answer to that question, and you got that right.
Oh, okay.
Just speaking from experience. Okay. Would you rather live the lifestyle of the Amish or the lifestyle of an Inuit, an Eskimo?
Oh, what is? Could you elaborate what that means?
So the lifestyle of an Amish, no, like no internet.
Oh, right. Yeah, no internet, no
And then
nothing.
Inuits, it's probably killing your own food, making your own warm clothing, living in an igloo type thing. But I imagine you could have internet in an igloo.
But could I still go to events if I didn't watch it on TV?
Oh yeah. It'd just be you
Yeah.
could travel wherever you want, but your home base is in a very cold place or in Amish country.
I think I would say Amish country.
Okay, fine.
Eh.
Okay, this is the one I'm not sure about. Would you rather get arrested for urinating on the Rocky statue or arrested for spray painting your name on the Liberty Bell?
Oh, that is really hard because doing both is like disgracing,
Mm-hmm.
like Philly, like oh
Yeah.
my god. I would say a drunk Gorm peeing on a Rocky statue
Okay.
if
You can
nobody
pull that-
saw it, because I think there's cameras where people can catch me doing that to the
So
Liberty
it's not going to be up on YouTube.
Right.
Like,
It can be like 3 in the
really,
morning at the art museum. Nobody's
yeah,
looking.
totally. Truth be told, I've been very drunk at times and forgot where I was and pulled myself out. But that'll be a whole other episode. All right. Thank you so much for coming on. This was great. And I want to schedule something, hopefully, for this coming week about a special Jericho Cruise edition
Yes.
of Getting to Know a Junkie. But yeah, thank you so much. It was great getting to know you. And
Yes.
I forget who I was talking to about like when everything's safe again, it's gonna be great when we all like meet up for like a show somewhere for like a
Right.
weekend. Like that's gonna be awesome.
Now, where are you from? Are you from Chicago?
I'm from Chicago, but I moved about 2 hours south, in March. But I'm still in Illinois.
Did you do Survivor Series week in 2019?
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny because I was wearing that shirt last night to bed, and I noticed a hole in it. But yeah, like
Wait, if I
there.
had to change my pick, I would say War Games. War Games 2019.
Yeah,
that was good.
Did you go to there was a couple meet and greets that weekend? Did you go? I went to the Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins one.
Oh, okay. So that was the hotel I was staying at where they were doing those. But I only went to the Undertaker one. He was at the convention that weekend. So I met him, and then that was the only meet and greet I think that I did. I think I like ran into other wrestlers like around town, but other than that, I paid to meet the Undertaker, and he's definitely up there on like my top 10.
How much was that? If you don't mind.
It was I think it was $200 for a picture, or you could get autographed for $200. So it was worth it. He was really
reasonable.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. That situation doesn't present itself all that often where you get to meet him or talk. Right. Did you talk to him?
No, I just I said, "Hey Mark, what's up?" And he just smiled and said, "Hey, how's it going?" And then like in the picture he was all serious. I'm like, wow, that like 10-15 seconds were really cool. I was like, him and Stone Cold, I'm just like,
it must have been surreal.
Yeah, just those opportunities. Yeah.
That's amazing. All right. So I will be in touch with you. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you again for coming on, and I hope to one day meet you.
Yes, for sure.
All right, Gorm, you take care, okay? I'll be in touch.
Brad. You too. Take care.
Bye.
See ya.